I can have parts for a Lamborghini Gallardo here faster than an American car in America today. Let's get started. This is a 2013 Cadillac ATS with the 3.6 engine I tell you guys not to buy. This one's luckily doing fine, it's doing okay. We're going to take a look around it today. It has a coolant leak, and we're going to discover together what that leak is and how insane it is. The parts they're not there. I got some proof to show you and some interesting stories behind the parts situation. Let's take a look around this Cadillac. So one thing I can see right off the bat is it has several large paint chips. Looks like some kind of a paint repair there. And also in the right corner of the hood, actually the driver's corner of the hood, there's some paint peeling there. The wheels look nice and glossy. It has Cadillac wheels on it. I just think that the body's been repainted at some point in the past. It doesn't have any damage, it doesn't appear to anyways. Looks clean and glossy down here, but as we get to the back on the deck lid, I want to show you guys. So as Mrs. Wizard pans around, you can see lots of lines. Like, it's almost as if there was a plastic bag laying on top of this when the paint was drying or something. I'm not sure what happened there, or it's crackling, but yeah, it doesn't look too good. And you can see it says ATS, it is the 3.6, has some nice dual exhaust, and down the other side looks nice as well. Let's go ahead and hop under the hood. Before we open the hood, let's make a bet, Mrs. Wizard. I've got my little hood strut lock tool that's on our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. I bet I do have to use this.
I bet you do too.
Let's find out.
Oh, be careful.
Oh, I have to go open it again. Nope, they don't hold. For anyone who's under the hood, that could be dangerous. It could fall on you, it could cut you. Definitely something that needs to be looked at. But I have this tool to clamp it in place. It doesn't hurt it because they're already dead anyways. So you're not going to hurt it anymore. Very, very useful tool. Here's our GM 3.6 liter V6. I'll go ahead and remove this cover. We can see our engine underneath. These engines don't tolerate poor oil changes, and one of the things that goes bad on them is timing chains. They have guides and tensioners and things that fail. You'll actually get a check engine light showing cam, crank correlation codes. Some people let it go so long that it actually damages the engine. There was one time at a shop I used to work at years ago, we did replace several sets for a customer in a year. I think it was 30 sets for the community. It was a lot. So some of you out there have the older engines and say, I haven't had any trouble. You're very lucky. I'm glad you haven't. Many have. This one has a coolant leak. We're going to let Mrs. Wizard do the interior review, and then we're going to get it in the air and take a look underneath.
159,452 miles, and I wish you could smell the interior of this car. It smells so nice. It smells like it's just got a fresh coat of armor all on it, like a leather store. It just smells so good, and actually you're going to love the presentation today. It looks like there's a whole bunch of something kind of going on here, and I think those are just, maybe it needs to wipe down. It really does not like that bad. The camera, likes to add pounds to a person and likes to show every little bit of dirt possible. But nice gauge cluster. That big dark square in the bottom does illuminate, gives an information screen there as well. The dash is in really good shape. Everything is dark charcoal. Everything is looking good though. We have silver accents. Go to our center section with piano black, and unfortunately the downfall of piano black is fingerprints. Yes, lots and lots of fingerprints unfortunately, but it looks really nice. I did wake it up, and you can now see all the controls. Everything goes black when it's turned off, but when it turns on, now you can see what everything says. So really a nice cool feature. Definitely adds a bit more elegance to the car. We can see in those 159,000 miles, we have a little bit of wear here on this gear selector. See a little bit of scraping on the leather, but of course, that's to be expected because leather is just a soft material. As we look at our seats, they are dark charcoal. It looks like there is a little bit of something spilled on there, but again, the camera shows it far better than we actually see it with the human eye. But looking good, no rips, no tears. The door card is in just as good of condition. Again, lots and lots of dark charcoal with those silver accents. The back seat looks quite nice as well, because it probably hasn't had too many people sitting back there. Don't see so much as a scratch in that leather. So looking good back there as we look at our headliner. Again, nice dove gray. And as we into the steering wheel, buttons, buttons, and buttons galore. If you need a button, here you go. But again, that's not what it's in here for. It's in for this coolant leak. Let's get this in the air and see what's going on.
So I know there's a coolant leak. They're smelling it. They say the biggest complaint is not so much that it's actually leaking, but that the smell is so strong. I have kind of a feeling, kind of a hunch, it's dripping on the exhaust. That's typically when you get the smell so strong like that, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and take a look underneath. So here's our belly pan. I don't see anything wet or anything dripping here that would warrant us pulling this all apart. Let's check these brakes real quick before we move on back. They're about 70% remaining. Sway bar links are good. No blown out strut, nothing loose. Brakes again, 70%. Strut's good. Sway bar link is good. Nothing loose there. You see the oil pan does not have any leaks of oil, coolant, or anything going on, so that's a good sign there. Nothing's leaking here. Uh-oh. Look at that, Mrs. Wizard.
That does not look good.
I can actually smell the antifreeze from here. So it's leaking from up above and dripping onto the catalytic converter. Man, I bet that makes some serious steam. Oh, it's even dripping and spraying back here. You can see the spatter on the exhaust. Our transmission is dry. Nothing's leaking there. These transmissions, they say, are non-serviceable. They're good for the life of the car. We all know that's not true. Because their idea of the life of the car is about 250,000 miles. Why aren't you buying a new car then? Why are you still trying to make this one run? That's their life of a car. Now, if you service these around 100, 125,000 miles and keep all the other things serviced, that's when you can get to the 250, 300, 350,000 mile range. Being this car has 160, it's kind of past that time to get it done. If the customer was interested, we might still do it, but once we get way past 150 or even close to 200, we advise just to leave it alone. Don't mess with it. Because if there are some issues that are just on the edge of failure, a transmission fluid flush can cause those small little issues to go ahead and keel over and start slipping in the transmission. We don't mess with that. One thing we do see is dual exhaust all the way back, so that's really cool. Our flex disc looks good, no cracks, nothing's loose there. I do see some gear oil leaking from the output flange seals here on the differential on either side. We'll let the customer know about it. It's not leaking bad enough, but definitely would keep an eye on it. Our brakes in the back look like new. They're very thick. Rotors look good. CV axles are good. Boots are good. They do have a blown out shock in the back though. Look at this, guys. It's leaking oil out of it. We'll have to let them know. Brakes look good here as well. CV boots are nice. Same thing over here on the back strut. It's oily, sludgy, starting to leak. Right height sensors are intact. The little arm is not broken. Has stock exhaust on it. Nothing's been changed there. Let's check the date codes on the tires. So we do have a date code of the 13th week of 2022. So they're a few years old, but they're still good. Let's get this thing on the ground and pressure test the cooling system and see where that pesky leak is coming from. So one thing we do when we have a coolant leak, we need to locate where is it coming from. That's the answer we need, where. We have this manually operated pressure testing little tool here. It's going to pump the system up to roughly the same as it would if it was running. We don't want to do that when it's hot. But while it's cold, we can pump it up to about 15 psi and then monitor for leaks. We know it's back in this area. We saw it dripping on the catalytic converter, so let's go ahead and pressure test it and get the pressures up. I know that 15 psi will not hurt this system because it clearly states this is a 20 psi system. So we have the coolant reservoir cap removed. We're going to replace the cap with this cap. As you can see, it has a port on the end that allows to hook up my pressure tool. So let's go ahead and get that screwed on. Screws on just like the old cap did. Now the reason why I'm showing this to you guys is because we've got several people call and Crazy Dio say we need to pressure test your cooling system, and they're basically like, what the is that? I don't even know what that is. So now we're showing you what it is. And get this connected here, just snaps on. Now we're going to pump it up to 15 psi. 15 psi. So now I'll take a quick peek and see if I can see where it's coming from, and then we'll show you guys. So this is a heater hose right here. There's two of them. There's one and two, and it has like a molded T shape right here I'm touching. And right down the side of it, you can see it's wet and it's cracked. Let me get my mirror and see if that shows it better for you guys. We can see there's a crack in the T. It's wet and it's currently dripping. So now we've located the leak exactly where it is. Now we need to let the pressure off. If I just take this loose, it could spray coolant in my face. But it has a handy little pressure release valve right here. Slowly release the pressure back to 0. There we go. All right, I got everything back together. The next step is to get prices together. I need to get an estimate together to call the customer. You don't just go in there and start replacing it. I've actually had comments of people say, just shut up and fix it. That's where you're going to get screamed at by a customer, because they're going to say, I didn't tell you you could do that yet. I was wanting to know how much it's going to cost to see if I can even afford it. You can get into some serious lawsuit trouble just jumping in there and doing it. So we'll get a price together, we'll get with the customer, see what they want to do. Very likely they're going to let us fix it. But let's go see if we can even get this part. I mentioned at the beginning of this video that I can get a Lamborghini part here faster than a Cadillac part. I've actually already proven that, but let me show you what I went through finding the two heater hoses for this Cadillac. So I figured, this is a Cadillac, this is going to be easy. I'll get the heater hoses on order. The customer gives us the go-ahead, we'll jump in there, we'll get it done. They can come pick up their car tomorrow. And I had a big wake-up call. There's some weird stuff going on with parts here, guys. I was able to find the parts, but let me show you how many places don't have it. So I used Worldpac, which is a really huge supplier for European parts, domestic, Asians. And I typed in heater hoses for 2013 Cadillac ATS. So you can see here, availability, none. Price, 0. Heater hose, none. There is none to be had. So it's like, okay, that happens. I understand. Not every supplier can have every part. But this is another local supplier, which is a very common, very well-known supplier across the US. I typed in heater hose, it just said nothing, so I typed in the actual GM part number for a cross-reference, which is 223-37925. It's the correct heater hose for this. Let me show you what they said. Here's the part number I entered in. It's the GM part number. No parts found from your search. So I'm starting to get a little worried here. I'm like, you know, this isn't a Bugatti Veyron. This is a Cadillac. This is an American car. So I went to the other supplier we have in town. They actually show the hoses. Let me show you what it says there. There's the hoses I need. Even the proper part numbers I just mentioned. There's the part numbers. Call for pricing. Basically, we don't even have it or even know if we have it. So we contacted that supplier and said, you said call for pricing and availability, so what do you got? They said, we have to call our main warehouse. We haven't sold many of these in a long time. They almost think that they've discontinued them. It'll be a couple days before we even know if we even can get you the part. We'll call you and let you know. That doesn't help me get this customer taken care of. I tried GM Parts Giant, Rock Auto, none. Rock Auto sells a metal outlet flange that fits in the back of the motor, and they call that the heater hose. That's not what I'm looking for. Listed under heater hose, there's nothing else. It's not there. I typed in the GM part number, nothing. I did find them at Parts Geek. I finally did.
Okay, Wizard, it's a heater hose. Can't you just use just regular tubing?
You probably could make something, but it would look really wonky and not look very good. It has molded, hard, like a plastic or rubber that makes a T shape into the hoses. It's called a molded heater hose. It's not just a standard hose. I suppose you could get a plastic T and make something work, but that would look real dodgy. We wouldn't do that here. There are multiple cars on now, newer cars, that have this molded hose set up where they have a T or a V or different shapes. It's got a large block, a plastic block that's press molded. You really can't cut it or do anything with it or repair it. You have to get a new heater hose, and then usually the hoses have weird shapes and S's and curves in them that you really can't make yourself. It's best just to find the original setup and make it look nice. And like I mentioned, I did find them at Parts Geek, but it says 5 to 9 days waiting before you'll have it in your shop. On an American Cadillac. Also, that's with the expedited shipping. I paid an extra $3 for expedited shipping. Here we are in the middle of America, a 12-year-old American Cadillac. It'll take me a week to get some heater hoses for a Cadillac. Here with Hoovie's cars, basically Grandpa's car, you could just get a standard heater hose, put it on with some new clamps, and you're done. They don't have these weird molded, strange assemblies. That's what they're called, a heater hose assembly. It's just standard stock hose. It's not the case on newer cars. Just for giggles, I contacted my exotic parts supplier. It's the guy I get all Ferrari, Bentley, Lamborghini parts, all these expensive high-end cars. I said, just for giggles, what is a set of heater hoses going to take to get here for a 2013 Lamborghini Gallardo? About an hour later, he got back with me. He said, I can have them to you Wednesday, 2 days. I sat back in my chair, guys, and I was just like, what? I can get Lamborghini parts here faster than an American car. I was just like, things are really changing. From when I was 20, 25, 30 years old, I wouldn't have even thought that this would be a problem, to be so difficult to find heater hoses for a Cadillac. It's really weird. So I definitely wanted to do a video today for you guys to show you the problem itself is not a big deal. It just needs a new heater hose set and the leak will be gone, the smell will be gone. But a week to a week and a half before this car will be done. So it's sad. If you're curious what kind of tools we use here in the shop, just like that pressure tester or this hood strut lockdown tool, and there's tons of tools listed on our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. If you purchase any of them, we get a small cut and really appreciate it. And make sure to hit the subscribe button because there's many more great videos to come just for you guys. Thanks for watching.